So you want to own a Shelby GT350. Well, in this video, I'm going to cover everything that I absolutely love about this car. I was initially actually going to make a video about the things that I hate about it, but it is too difficult to come up with those. There are a couple of things that I'm not so fond of that we will cover in this video, but there is so much to love about this car, and that's what we're going to go over. Without further ado, guys, I mean, I have just this strong urge every single time I wake up to get inside of the car. Looking at it is one subject, but driving it is a whole other, and I'd much rather drive this thing than look at it, trust me. All right, let's go ahead and start this thing up. Now, since we're about to do a massive poll to start this video off, the first thing that I have to cover is I believe this car is either right at or just above what I like to call the power sweet spot. And that's the first thing I love about this car. Guys, on the internet, it's so easy to find people saying that cars are slow. I've had people call the C7 Z06 slow. I think people are just mostly trolling nowadays, but I trust me when I say, I mean, there is a certain amount of power that you actually just don't even want because it's too fast to use. And there's certain cars where, honestly, there's just not enough power to really get kicked back in your seat and have fun. Like I said, I believe this thing is either right at or just above that power sweet spot. At that point, it really depends on the roads you have access to and where you live. But let me give you guys actually, you know what? I have never done a 0 to 60 test in this car ever. Let's do that for the first time. All right, uphill was not the move for a 0 to 60 test. Let's turn off the AC. We got more of a flat road here. Hopefully that turn there doesn't make us do anything, you know, like go into a tree. But we're in a Shelby, not a full-on Mustang, okay? So that shouldn't happen. All right, let's give this a shot. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. 5.1 seconds. I mean, with a manual, I'm gonna take that. We did lose traction as well. That wasn't too bad, right? We'll give it another shot a little bit later on in this video as well. That goose there is not scared of me at all. I don't think I've ever seen that. What the heck? But yeah, as I was saying, guys, number one has got to be that this car is really usable for roads like these. I mean, we're obviously not in like city traffic, like the heart of a city. I mean, at that point, you can barely use anything. I mean, even in a city, hearing this thing echo off the walls is a crazy experience because you really do want optimal conditions for good sound when you're driving this thing. But yeah, this car does allow you to rev out 1 or 2 gears pretty comfortably. There's a lot of cars I've been behind where we're honestly going, you know, revving out 1 gear. Like, for example, the C7 Z06. First gear, you can hit 60 freaking miles an hour in that thing, and that is just absurd, and it does it so quick. This car, though, you're just a bit more comfortable letting the thing ring out without being, I don't want to say without the fear of getting arrested, but it's that sweet spot, right? It's like semi-usable power. It is also really a joy feeling the kickback in your seat, the G-forces when you do floor this car. And not to mention, this car kind of gives you options as well. The power band is extremely linear, and most of the power is between probably 5.5 to 8,000 RPM. So yeah, if you're looking to just listen to that insane sound, but not go that fast, then just stay below 5,000 RPM. And no matter how hard you push the gas pedal, I mean, you're not going to be moving that fast. So that, and trust me, it is pretty satisfying going slow in this car, because you can just get the downshift, you get to hear that sound, even being gripped by these Recaro seats, which is a different discussion talking about the interior. But yeah, it is actually satisfying just kind of cruising around in this thing, and that big front hood, oh my gosh. Which actually does lead me on to point number 2. Every time I review a Mustang, I always say the interior just sucks. And finally, in the GT350, I feel like I can say I really, really love this interior. Yeah, it is not over the top, but it is definitely actually nice for the first time in a Mustang. The big snake that you get to stare at is really, really cool. You have a full Alcantara steering wheel, and guys, I mean, holding this thing and touching this thing is so satisfying. You even have Alcantara on your door panel. So in all honesty, guys, that is actually a little bit over the top if you ask me. Gosh, the suspension in this thing, you're just freaking glued to the road, bumping over everything. Maybe if you're 60 years old, you're not going to be a fan of that, but if you're in your 20s and 30s and you just like that insane feeling, this car gives it to you. All those pops. Oh my gosh. Had a little bit of an oopsie with the GoPro overheating, but thankfully it happened just before this roundabout. Let's send it in this roundabout, and let's see how this thing can handle it. Yeah, that is just unlike, that is not what you think of when you think of a Mustang. What the heck? That is so much better than so many cars that people like to say, oh, buy this if you want corners, not a Mustang. Wow, that is the most satisfying experience in the world. But anyway, guys, in the interior, you have a decent sized screen. You have the Shelby badge, you have GT350 on there, and your chassis number. You have Shelby on the floor mats, the Alcantara. It's certainly not like over the top, but I mean, honestly, for the price range, it kind of is over the top. It's nicer than a lot of, not a lot, but some interiors of sports cars that are at this price range. It gives you just enough to not be able to complain, and some elements that make you really, really happy with it. Adjustable exhaust, that makes a huge difference, as you guys can hear. I mean, here, watch. I'll flip it up, ready? And I'm gonna keep my foot at the same acceleration rate on the gas pedal. Massive, massive difference. I mean, it almost goes from like super loud Mustang to electric, relatively speaking. You have adjustable dampers, an adjustable steering feel. You can customize this car to exactly the driving experience that you want from the interior, which is absolutely insane. That can get annoying sometimes. By the way, the previous owner actually put wiring through the mirror, so I don't have to have a cord running down from the radar detector, which is extremely nice. But yeah, interior, I think it's phenomenal for the price point that this car is at. Now, the next thing I love about this car, and this is honestly, this is not really in any particular order, but if I were to put it in an order, this would be number one, and that is the price that this car is at. I picked this thing up for $52,000, full PPF. Every single body panel is PPF, clear wrap. It has the electronics package. It has an oil catch can. It has this wiring. It has $5,000 aftermarket wheels on it. And not only that, but the car holds its value. That's the one thing that sucks about being a car guy, is it's such an expensive hobby to have. But this car, you're kind of just parking the money, right? A lot of non-car people will look at us and be like, what are you doing? Putting in your money in appreciating assets? Like, are you rich? Like, no, I just like cars. But this car is not, it's almost like you don't even have to consider it an appreciating asset. There is maintenance, there's insurance, there's all this stuff that goes with it, but you're kind of just parking your money and getting to enjoy the money rather than having it just sit there. And yeah, you know, if you put in investments, it's going to increase rather than just stay stagnant or slightly depreciate. But this, I am driving my bank account, and I freaking love it. I mean, everything with the cost. All right, we're unplugging this. Holy crap, dude. Like, I've never seen this thing go off as much as it is now. Everything about this car, with cost wise, is just amazing. And yeah, the cost to maintain it is going to be a little bit on the higher end. My rear tires are 325. It has massive Brembo brakes. It does consume a little bit of oil, so you know, yeah, it's just going to be a little bit more costly to maintain. That is absolutely true. But when you think of what else is what you know, when you want this experience, flat plane crank V8, manual transmission, extremely good in the corners, this is like a half off Porsche 911 GT3. I really do mean that. Ultra high revving, just like the GT3. Can corner like the well, probably not as good as the GT3, but sound is as good, if not better, than the 911 GT3. It's insane. It just has the Mustang kind of reputation attached to it, if you will, even though this, I would not even call this a Mustang at all. But yeah, the GT3, that's another level. It brings it to another level, I understand. But I'm just saying, this should not offer all that it does for the price point that it's at, and even also hold its value. Insane package. Now, number 4, is this going to come to a surprise to you guys? Probably not, but the sound. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And every time I hear another GT350, which by the way is very rare, I can actually add that to another thing I love about this car, is the fact that you go to a car show or you're driving around, yeah, you see Mustangs everywhere, you really do, but you do not see GT350s. I mean, I drive all the time because I'm making videos, I'm driving for work, but it is so uncommon to see a 350, and so being behind the wheel of something that you just never see is such an awesome experience. And pulling up to a car show, and maybe there's like 1 or 2 or 3 other 350s, and that's it. I mean, that is something I do love about this car. Oh my gosh! And when you get a nice pop, it is so satisfying. Whoa! I have never heard it backfire like that. Holy crap! I don't know what that was, but that sounded good. Oh my gosh. But guys, as I was kind of like going into the corner there, nice little come arrow right there. As I was going into the corner there, in most Mustangs, I never feel comfortable giving it throttle in the corner, but this you do. And that is just, that's again, it's so track focused. Unbelievably satisfying and just different from most rear wheel drive sports cars. It gives you that confidence that other rear wheel drive sports cars do not. Oh, what a wonderful way to wrap up the sound conversation with those backfires. Holy crap. Wow. Now, my fifth favorite thing that I love about this car is definitely going to be the looks of it. This is kind of a love-hate relationship because it is still a Mustang, and so, you know, I'm not really anyone that is like obsessed with, you know, looking good. I mean, I think we all want to look good, let's be honest here. But it is just unfortunate that to a lot of people, it is still just a Mustang. Like, this might just be some bright yellow, obnoxious Mustang. Like, but you know, it is a lot more special than that. Now, the stripes, the GT350 badge, the splitter in the front that has Shelby written on it, the GT350 badge on the side with the vent, the bigger exhaust tips, the 350 badge in the back. Yeah, there are quite a few things that make this just a bit different from the looks of most Mustangs. And so that's why I do put this in last place about what I love about this car. It does look really, really good. Especially because this car is lowered. It has $5,000 aftermarket wheels, apparently. My brother was looking up what's on this car, because I never actually looked into that after I bought this thing. The previous owner put $5,000 forged black wheels on this, and yeah, those look really, really nice as well. But yeah, all in all, the car does look really, really nice. It's just, it is a love-hate because it is still kind of just a Mustang, but a very, very special one. For all the 4 previous reasons we just went over. I told you guys I was going to mention some things I hate about this car, and the reason why I didn't make a video about 5 things I hate about it is because there's only one thing I hate about it. It's even practical, guys. There's so much space in the trunk, in the back, in the front over here. For what it is, insane. I mean, it is a do-it-all type of car. The only thing I hate is the reliability, the oil consumption, and then some reports of people saying that their engines have blown. But then again, guys, I mean, I drove a 95,000 mile GT350 on this channel, the white one. So because the thing drove perfectly, except for there was some grinding with the transmission. But for 95,000 miles, I mean, that's insane that the engine and everything held up as well as it did. Yeah. The fact that you can find high mileage examples of this car is pretty awesome. But yeah, I mean, the reason Ford kind of discontinued this car is because they just couldn't quite get the reliability under this hood up to, like, the 5.0, for example. That is just way more reliable than the GT350 and ready for a lot of power too. But anyways, guys, appreciate y'all for watching. Let me know what you think about this car. If you want to get one, if you have one, what your experience is. I love to hear reliability stories about owning a GT350. So feel free to comment below. Love y'all, and I'll see you very soon in the next video. Peace out.